Picture yourself sliding into a gleaming vinyl booth and picking your favorite song without ever leaving your seat. Or imagine watching a cook flip burgers on a hot, sizzling griddle, just a few feet from where you're perched on a counter stool. Below are 10 classic diner touches from the 1950s that have quietly disappeared for good, fading out of everyday life as tastes, technology, and regulations shifted over the decades. Tabletop jukeboxes turned every booth into its own personal music station, letting diners choose songs without ever getting up. The best-known model was the Seeburg Wall-O-Matic, launched in the late 1940s and a staple by the following decade. These gleaming chrome units held flip-page song lists packed with the era's biggest hits. Drop in a nickel or dime, tap a few buttons, and you could summon Elvis Presley or Chuck Berry straight to the speakers. Each wall unit was wired into a larger jukebox tucked away somewhere in the diner, which piped the music through the whole room. Once newer technology took over, these coin-fed boxes disappeared from tabletops one by one, leaving only nostalgic memories of flicking through those stiff laminated paper song cards while waiting on your order. The classic soda fountain was the social hub of any 1950s diner, drawing in teens and families alike. Standing at the Formica counter was the soda jerk, a name earned from the yanking motion used to work the syrup taps. Part mixologist and part showman, this employee blended flavored syrups with fizzy water to whip up phosphates and egg creams on request. They'd also whirl up thick milkshakes in industrial Hamilton Beach blenders, pouring the results into tall fountain glasses. Once bottled sodas, vending machines, and fast food chains took over, the hands-on craft of the soda jerk simply wasn't needed anymore. The showmanship, patter, and quick wit that once defined that job title are now nowhere to be found in modern restaurants. Diner slang was a rapid-fire code that cooks and servers used to shout orders across a noisy dining room. Trading these odd phrases back and forth was part of the whole 1950s diner experience. Order 2 eggs on toast, and the cook might hear a call for Adam and Eve on a raft. Want them scrambled? That became wreck 'em. A hot dog turned into a tube steak, and a glass of milk was cow juice. This private language made service faster and gave counter-sitters something to smile about while they waited. As menus got standardized and printed tickets gave way to digital ordering systems, there was no more need to holler orders back to the kitchen. That colorful, improvised diner vocabulary has largely vanished from restaurant floors today. Cigarette machines used to sit in the entryway or a corner of almost every 1950s diner. These bulky metal units were dressed up with polished chrome handles, mirrored panels, and glowing signage. Slide in a quarter or a handful of dimes, pull the heavy lever, and a pack of unfiltered smokes would drop down. Smoking was woven into diner culture back then. Every table had its own metal or glass ashtray, and customers lit up freely over coffee in the morning paper. Tighter public health codes, indoor smoking bans, and stricter age verification requirements eventually pushed these plunger-style machines out of business for good. Picking up a fresh pack of cigarettes right at the diner counter on your way out the door is a thing of the past. The streamlined, train-inspired exterior gave 1950s diners the look of a shiny locomotive parked along the highway. Borrowing design cues from rail cars, these prefab buildings were wrapped in polished stainless steel, glass block windows, and colorful bands of porcelain enamel. Manufacturers like Coleman and O'Mahony built entire diners in factories before trucking them to their final spots. That metallic shine was meant to grab drivers' attention, sparkling in daylight and lighting up under neon at night. Once design trends moved toward earthier, muted materials in the 1970s, the shiny metal diner lost its appeal. Today's restaurants favor brick and wood construction, making those chrome-clad originals a rare sight. The open kitchen setup turned cooking into a show right in front of the customer. In a typical 1950s diner, the griddle sat just behind the counter, only a couple feet from the stools. Regulars perched on those spinning chrome seats could watch cooks crack eggs, flatten patties, and toast buns in one fluid motion. The hiss of the grill, the clink of spatulas, and the smell of onions frying created an experience you could practically taste. Stricter health codes, ventilation rules, and a move toward bigger enclosed kitchens have since hidden that process from view. That close-up bond between diner and cook, with only steam between them, isn't something we see much anymore.
Roller skating car hops carried the diner right out to your car, tying the restaurant business to the booming car culture of the post-war years. Beyond their indoor seating, many diners added drive-in lots so customers could eat without leaving their vehicles. Servers on four-wheeled skates would zip across the lot, balancing trays loaded with burgers and shakes. They'd hook a custom metal tray right onto a rolled-down car window, letting the whole family eat from the front seat. The job demanded serious balance and speed, and the fastest skaters often earned the best tips. Once drive-through windows and intercom ordering came along, gliding car hops became unnecessary. Convenience simply won out.
Big neon clocks were the showpiece, hanging over the entrance or behind the counter of a typical 1950s diner. These oversized, glowing timepieces did more than tell time. They were essentially glowing advertisements. Many came from the well-known Glow Dial company and featured looping neon tubing in vivid pink, green, and blue. The clock face often displayed the diner's name or promoted a local soda or dairy brand. The soft buzz and warm glow of the neon gave late-night diners their signature, cozy feel. These days, cheap LED panels and digital signs have taken over completely. The skill of shaping those glowing neon tubes has all but disappeared. The spinning glass pastry case was a clever way to hook customers the second they stepped through the door. These towering refrigerated displays used a motorized turntable to slowly show off a rotating lineup of fresh-baked treats. Diners of the era prided themselves on in-house baking, stocking these lit-up cases with towering lemon meringue pies and rich chocolate cakes. The steady spin caught the light and pulled eyes toward dessert before customers had even ordered dinner. Once diners started buying frozen, pre-made desserts from suppliers, there was no reason to keep the elaborate rotating cases around. Today's menus just list desserts on paper, missing that irresistible visual pull of a slowly turning slice of pie. Penny scales were a fun little extra tucked near the entrance or restrooms of nearly every mid-century diner. Built from heavy cast iron, often by the Watling Scale Company, they served two purposes at once. Drop in a penny, and you could step on to check your weight, a real novelty at a time when home scales weren't common. Many machines also printed out a tiny card with a fortune, a set of lucky numbers, or a quick horoscope. Kids and adults alike loved feeding coins into the slot just to laugh at their so-called futures before walking out the door. As bathroom scales became cheap and easy to find at home, these clunky coin-operated machines were eventually scrapped. And that's it for our trip back to the chrome and neon diners of the 1950s. 10 little details that made grabbing a burger and a shake feel like an event, not just a meal. From tabletop jukeboxes to roller skating car hops, these small touches are long gone, but they're what made mid-century diner culture so unforgettable. So tell us, which one of these would you bring back if you could? The soda fountain? The lingo? That spinning pie case? Drop your pick in the comments below. We'd love to hear your favorite diner memory. If you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, do us a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're into more nostalgic deep dives like this one, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. We've got a bell icon right there too, so turn that on if you want a heads up the moment a new video drops. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.